Greetings everyone, today I'm testing a guy stack. I've reverted to the disposable breakers and I'm up against Blue Sun, at which point I immediately concede. There was absolutely no reason to play out the game. I said in real life I would have simply scooped up my cards and switched sides. There are only 9 icebreakers in my deck, 3 of each disposable breaker, and Curtain Wall is strength 10. I have no way of pumping Spike all the way up to strength 10 to beat a Curtain Wall. And I have no emergency shutdowns either. So there is absolutely no way I can deal with a res Curtain Wall whatsoever. I don't run any static breakers, no Corroder, Aurora, not even Breach. And I don't have Data Sucker, and because I'm a dumb person, I don't have Helpful AI either. Well, I don't have enough influence, but still, the point is, Curtain Wall at strength 10 means that when it's put on HQ, I can never siphon him again. When it's put on his scoring remote, he can just chain out 7 agendas to win. There's absolutely nothing I can do about that, and for that reason there was really no point to play out the game. So that's all I have for this video. Thanks everyone for watching and happy net running. See you next time. Are you still watching? Well, okay, I'll show you the game. My sincerest apologies. I didn't mean to take up so much time with the deck explanation, but I do get carried away when I stumble across interesting interactions and synergies such as this. So, this is my opening hand. It's okay. There's no draw, which is a problem. But with a couple of breakers, especially Spike, you need to Spike against Blue Sun. I mean, any form of Wayland for that matter. So, I guess it's a fine keep. And there's a bit of money as well. You need some early money. Make no mistake. If you don't have early money, you cannot trigger Savoir-Faire. So I install Daily Cast here and then Savoir-Faire. Installing Savoir-Faire is probably a mistake because I'm not going to be able to use it on the corpse turn this time because I don't have enough money. Maybe I should have played something else instead, like the Crowbar or the Spike. In any case, he did leave R&D undefended and I got to see an exact boot camp off of that. So that's fine. If he installs the exact boot camp, I'll just drive it by. I don't want to deal with exact boot camp because it could lead to a Adonis campaign. Here he immediately rushes on an agenda, which explains why he placed an ice on the remote instead of defending R&D. Fair enough. I'll let him have the agenda and some extra cards while he's at it. Fist Investment Seminar draws me into Clone Chip Fairy, Daily Cast. More money, which is great. The problem is this is delayed money, so while I pay the down payment for Daily Cast, it means that I'm not triggering Savoir-Faire. Another reason why I should have kept Savoir-Faire in my hand for now, because right now it's sitting on the board doing absolutely zilch. Same with the Forger, but I guess Forger's not that bad because it frees up my memory, so I can actually install Cloud Breakers without worry. I do give him the Oaktown, and on my first click, I play Peddler into Crowbar, KD Jones, and Underworld Contacts. I'm almost certainly not installing Crowbar here because I'm up against Wayland, which almost runs very few code gates. So Crowbar's almost certainly going into the bin. I'm going to liberate either Underworld Contacts or KD Jones. Since I don't have the clicks to tap KD Jones this turn, since I'm installing the Fairy from hand, I'm going to liberate Underworld Contacts instead, while he gets a second Oaktown going. So he has every right to be very confident of his remote server here. It's protected by 2 ice and an upgrade. Can I get in? I should try to defend against this, and I'm going to. At the start of my turn, before my turn starts, I liberate Underworld Contacts and play Spike using Savoir-Faire. My first 2 clicks involve driving the upgrade by so that I do not have to deal with it. It is an Ash. Thank goodness, because if I didn't drive it by, I would have to run through that server twice, meet 4 ice. I almost certainly won't be able to break 4 ice with my current setup. So with Fairy and a Clone Chip, I encounter a Caduceus. This is my last click. Usually I can afford to run through Caduceus with 2 link, but he's richer than me, he can easily keep me out, so I have to break that with Fairy and risk bumping into a horrible second ice. It's not horrible at all, it's Assassin, and I have exactly 3 credits needed to pump Fairy and steal the Oaktown. In the meantime, drawing 1 card from sacking the Clone Chip. So that compromises my board state. I lose my Clone Chip, I lose my Fairy, but I gain a lot from it. I do swing 4 agenda points in my favor, 2 away from him, 2 to me. And while he continues doing his EBC shenanigans, I can slowly take my time to re-establish my board state. So that was a very important turn. I could have easily been locked out of that server. And this is another big benefit to running Cyber Warfare. It's almost like running SMC. The corp cannot be sure, the scoring windows for the corp is not so certain because they don't know what sort of breakers you have in your hand. I could have easily tutored a crowbar using Cyber Warfare if the last ice had been an Enigma instead. So yes, hidden information is very powerful, and this is one benefit of playing this deck with Cyber Warfare. Okay, so here I know there's an Adonis in the remote, so I'm just going to hammer his remote. He made the mistake of playing the Assassin on R&D instead of the remote. He really should place the Assassin back on the remote because he needs to defend the Adonis. One of the biggest mistakes you can do as Bootcamp Blue Sun is to compromise your Adonis. You only have one Adonis in your deck, better make sure it's well defended. A Caduceus does absolutely nothing against a Tooling runner, so that sets him back pretty far. But he's still much richer than me, so I can't get too confident here. In the meantime, I freely install my crowbar and get to work drawing. So as you see, most of my time is actually spent drawing cards because if I'm not running through servers, I have to draw cards. Because my cards will get used up very quickly with Cyber Warfare. In fact, I could even choose to install Crescentus with Cyber Warfare right now. Why not? Alright, so finally the Curtain Wall Oversight AI combo gets going, and that's a big problem for me. I have to let that go. I have no emergency shutdown in this iteration of the deck, so I play a couple of Technical Writers instead. After that, I install Clicklessly with Cyber Warfare to gain 2 credits on the Technical Writers. Now, Technical Writer is pretty amazing with guys, obviously. Amazing with Cyber Warfare. It's just all around good. You don't have to maximize the amount of money you liberate off it. As long as you're getting at least 4 credits off Technical Writer, it's already better than a sure gamble. Of course, the delayed nature of it hurts. I would like to have more money right now to install the R&DI, but we'll make do without it. Now, at this juncture, I finally draw into my first account Siphon, and it's here that I can start considering siphoning him. I can't do it right now because I do not want to tag float and lose all my underworld contacts at this point. So I play my last Technical Writer and use Cyber Warfare to install Shift. The Cyber Warfare install cost me 2 credits by gaining 3 credits of Technical Writer, so it evens out. I draw twice, and looking at his score pile, he has 4 agenda points. I'm thinking to myself, I need to slam the Accelerator because he can easily win the game in a matter of a couple of turns. I know he has a curtain wall on the remote, and I know there's no way I can get through it. So I need to do something quickly, and that something is account Siphon, which I'm gonna do right now. With 4 icebreakers on the board and a clone chip, I feel rather safe. Anything except my archer wouldn't phase me, and even archer can be easily dealt with fairy. So 5 strength is usually the magic number because the worst ice that you'll meet is Toll Booth, and in this game, Assassin, Taurus, etc. Firewall is also possible. So a lot of things are at strength 5, very few ice at strength 6 or above. 5 is the magic number you need. So here I'm considering how I want to go about my account Siphon. I'll just do it straight out. Let's see if he reses the HQ ice. If he does, he has to consider that I have a Crescentus out, and I can easily de-res it as soon as he reses it. So, what's his reaction here? Blue Sun, I mean, this is a very bad matchup for me, but on the same token, it's pretty bad for him as well if the ice on HQ is pretty big, and it seems like it. So he just lets me 3D Siphon, which is kind of a mistake. I don't know what ice is on HQ, but in any case, giving me free access to Siphon is always nice for me. Unfortunately, this is a bit sad for me as well, because I don't get to draw. I would really like to get guys draw from trashing my breakers. So here, instead of clearing tags, I go for the R&D dig. Because I know I need to apply the pressure immediately. I cannot waste time clearing tags manually. He does show the assassin that was bounced from the remote. I was kind of expecting this. So, I can bring out my 5th breaker, the fairy. But instead of breaking with fairy, I'm going to break with shift instead because I need the draw more. The card draw is way more important to me here. And Crescentus de-reses the assassin, so I get 2 draws there. I deny him 7 credits, and that's pretty huge. He was not able to defend his R&D, and as a result, I'm going to get to access 2 cards off the top of it. So now the bigger problem is clearing the tags. He could be playing a Scorch variant. I could flatline here. But this is no problem because I run Forger. With Forger, I only need 1 click to clear tags because Forger can clear the other tag for me. So I'm going to sack Forger here. This means that I go up to 4 memory, and I mean all my cloud breakers go up to 1 memory, so I'm forced to trash 1 cloud breaker to meet the memory requirement, and with my last click I clear a tag. So that's all good, fine and dandy, but he double advances a card and takes a credit. So that could be a 5-3 agenda that wins him the game. I need to contest it. And there's no other way to contest it other than playing account Siphon. Although I'm running low on breakers, so at this point I'm forced to play a spike before siphoning him 3rd click. A bit risky, but I have no choice right here. This could be game. He allows me to freely siphon him, and he goes down to 13 credits. 1 credit short of rezzing that curtain wall. That is huge. That 1 credit deficit cost him the game. If he could rest the curtain wall there, he could bounce it next turn and score his 5-3 for the win. Instead, I'm getting through the server. So a bit hasty on his part, but, well, not much you can do. I guess he should have waited 1 more turn before advancing the Global Food Initiative, which turned out to be the agenda in the remote. Of course, I easily beat the Ashtray because I have 2 link, and the Ash immediately goes in the bin. I don't want to deal with that. I'm still nowhere near winning the game though, because food is only worth 2 points to me. I still need 2 more agendas to win. And I'm doubly tagged right now. So that is going to come and hurt me, because with his next turn, he uses 1 click to burn one of my technical writers. A very smart move by him because they have been accumulating a boatload of cash. But it's at this point that I more or less realize he's not running the Scorch package. Between Adonis campaign, at least 2 ashes, Global Food Initiative, I highly doubt he has influence left for a sea source. So I'm going to float tags from now on, because I need to play faster than him. I need to win before he finds 14 credits. Once he's able to res a curtain wall, I'm done. As I said, I can concede. So I run R&D here and I find 2 agendas and win the game. Very anticlimactic, but well, that's Netrunner for you. High variance. Unfortunately for my opponent, he tried to rush out as Blue Sun against a criminal. This feels like deja vu. It's not the first time I'm saying this. People are playing at the wrong tempo. And this is a very good example of that. In theory, I am completely locked out against curtain wall. If he chose to set up his centrals and take his time, instead of rushing out to 7 points for no good reason, he would have easily won. That was a very handy matchup for him. Perhaps my Underworld's contact drip economy placed a lot of pressure on him. To be fair to him, he didn't know whether I was running things like Ether Crescentus, Pulse Crescentus. So yes, I think he has a very valid reason to rush, but it just didn't pay off this game. And on the same note to me, the extra credits that were generated by my Underworld contact strip econ, I had no use for. Usually I'll use those money for trashing assets, which are very prevalent in the meta nowadays. So now I'm going to go through a few of the cards in my deck, even though I won, and see whether they perform well or not, so I can change my deck in future iterations. Savoir Faire activated 4 times this game, which means that it saved me 3 clicks. Not 4, because I spent 1 click installing the Savoir Faire itself. It lost me 8 credits. This seems like a horrible trade. This is way worse than Drug Dealer, right? It costs more than 2 credits per card, per click. It seems really, really bad. In reality, it really is. However, don't forget that Savoir Faire gives you the flexibility of installing from your grip, which is an unknown factor. And more importantly, my credits are disposable entirely. Because I do not need credits to break using breakers, I can spend these credits on Savoir Faire. Multi-threaders are pretty good interaction with it, but I don't have the influence for that. On the other hand, you ask me, if you're playing Savoir Faire, why not go all in with Autoscriptor as well? Or play Autoscriptor instead of Savoir Faire. Now, Autoscriptor would have been a lot more efficient. It would have cost me only 3 credits to do the same thing instead of 8 credits, because It costs 3 to install, and you have no activation cost thereafter. It will give you 1 click every single turn. The problem with this is it disincentivizes face checking, and that's a huge downside. If I wanted to force a curtain wall res on the remote, if I had to, so that I could dig R&D or his HQ, I would have lost the autoscriptor, and that's not good for me. I have no memory issues, so autoscriptor is a no-go for me. It's a card I can live without, and I think it's too janky to deserve a deck slot. Fixed investment seminar. Now this is really, I'm really on the fence with this, mostly because I can't really see my opponent's hand. If I could, I would be able to make a good decision, because I have a very strong feeling the fixed investment seminar actually accelerated my opponent. This was why he was able to rush out so quickly. He nearly scored out for the victory. My fixed investment seminar basically bought him 3 whole clicks worth of drawing. This is why he was able to see so many agendas early on, 2 Oak Towns, and Atlas, and a global food. That wouldn't have happened without my Fisk. However, I need it because it saved me 2 clicks as well. Also, it's very useful late game. If I want to, if R&D is my only route to victory, Fist Investment Seminar will allow me to dig through R&D further. After 1 turn of running with double R&DI, I can Fisk the next turn and see 3 fresh cards, something that the corp may not be prepared for. So, that's my deck. That's the game. Surprise victory for me? Well, not really deserved, but still, thanks for watching and happy net running. A real goodbye this time.